Ready? Good evening. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Verona Council Workshop Meeting of June 24th. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Right, Ms. Wolford, not present. Sylvia Provenza.
Present.
Ms. Flota.
Here.
David Recupero.
Here.
President Suchovich.
Here.
I am here. Dr. Carpenter.
Present.
John Gamelis.
Present.
Tim Long is not present.
Here. He's on Zoom. Tim's on Zoom.
Okay, noted. Tim is on Zoom. Thank you.
Any emergency additional agenda items? Nothing. Registered comments from the public, we have nothing. Comments from the public at this time. If you hear comments on public related items, please approach the podium or raise your virtual hand. Clearly state your name and address. Limit your comment to 3 minutes, please.
Thank you, Davis, Bridge Avenue. One of my neighbors, Denise and Ed Jablonski, have a couple young children on Ridge Avenue. They have bought a couple of those signs, those trend door signs. Watch the children, they're gonna be posting them on the street. So that you're aware of it. I already talked to Tom and he said that was fine. But I just wanted to bring it to your attention that we'll be having signs on Ridge to slow people down because nobody's coming down. Everybody thinks it's a Indianapolis Speedway for a dead end.
Thank you, Susie.
Susie, will they be placed on the side of the road? Middle road?
She's trying to probably put them right in front of her house on the side. And then there's gonna be one as you're coming down by Roger, I don't know if you're familiar with him. A couple houses up from her, so that everybody's aware of both directions coming. But she's not gonna put them in the middle of the road, as far as I know.
Okay.
Because and I'll tell her they gotta be moved to the side so that traffic can get up and down.
Nobody else? Let me just go through the public. Anybody else with public comments? Nobody virtual? At this time, we're gonna go to a couple acknowledgements we wanna do. So off to the mayor.
Yes, I have one that Jen Kuhn, a few weeks ago, would like to come over here. Guess she's not coming.
You wanna go?
Yeah.
She wants mom trash. The boyfriend Jack. Sarah, good mother.
June is Gervais.
Gervais, yes.
Yeah, I thought it was Dravet, but she corrected me, Gervais French. And it's a certificate of acknowledgement for Gervais syndrome. And I'm gonna be Cora acknowledgement award. Verona Borough would like to acknowledge the month of June as Dravet Syndrome Awareness Month. Verona Borough would like to honor Cora Kuhn for her resilience and bravery. For if you want to explain just a little bit, because I've never heard of it before.
Yeah, and that's the point of the advocacy. I wrote some notes because I'm better at reading than I'm talking. Would that be better? Okay.
Let's speak. Is that microphone on?
Just tap on it.
No.
Push it out. Okay. Push it out on.
Hello. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. So I prepared a speech. Thank you, Mayor and Steve. So good evening, everyone. My name is Jen Marasco-Coon, and I live at 455 North Avenue in Verona. I'd like to begin by extending my heartfelt thanks to Mayor Dave and the Verona Borough Council for the certificate of recognition and for officially declaring June as Dravet Syndrome Awareness Month. It's French. I said it's the only saving grace about the disorder. Your support means more than words can express, not just to my family, but to thousands of families across the country affected by this rare and devastating condition. I also want to share my deepest gratitude to the incredible team at Riverview Children's Center. Over the past few years, their unwavering love and support have been nothing short of a lifeline. Their entire staff has embraced not just our daughter Cora, but our whole family, creating a sense of belonging and community that every special needs family hopes to find. A special thank you also goes out to Annie, George, and the team at Verona Giant Eagle. The store is more than just a grocery store. It's a cornerstone of our community. Their kindness, encouragement, and willingness to help amplify Cora's journey and raise awareness for Dravet syndrome have truly touched our hearts. We look forward to partnering with them this June and in years to come to continue amplifying Cora's story and raising awareness for this rare syndrome. Lastly, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to Senator Jay Costa and Representative Joe McAndrew. Senator Costa co-signed Senate Resolution 127, officially recognizing June 23rd as International Dravet Syndrome Awareness Day. Representative McAndrews is also currently working to advance a similar proclamation in the House to honor this important day. We've been very busy. We're incredibly grateful to have responsive and compassionate leaders at every level of government, representatives who listen, see the realities of everyday families like mine, and take meaningful steps to help lighten our path. To see our town and truly our entire state respond with such compassion by declaring awareness days and months, wearing purple, like most everyone's wearing, I appreciate, sharing thoughtful, encouraging messages, and making generous contributions to support research, it's more than we can ever hope for from one small but incredibly mighty community. I say we may be rare, but we are not invisible. For those who may not be familiar, Dravet syndrome is a rare and catastrophic form of epilepsy that begins in infancy and lasts a lifetime. It affects about 1 in every 15,700 children born in the US. These children experience frequent prolonged seizures that are resistant to most medications. But Dravet syndrome's impact goes far beyond seizures. It also affects speech and language, behavior, sensory processing, nutrition, mobility, and even the body's ability to regulate temperature. And perhaps the most frightening of all, it carries a high risk of sudden unexpected death in epilepsy, also known as SUDEP. There is currently no cure for Dravet syndrome. Our daughter Cora, who is here with us tonight, sitting with Mama Tracy, is one of those extraordinary children. She was diagnosed in 2021 after experiencing her first seizure at just 5 months old. Born in the middle of the pandemic, she entered a world of uncertainty filled with emergency room visits, specialist appointments, and complex medical decisions. In just 5 years, Cora has endured 34 seizures, ranging in length from 1 minute to 5.5 hours. Yeah, that was easy. That was right after she's diagnosed. Good times. She has been hospitalized 18 times, including 5 stays on life support in the pediatric intensive care unit. And as heartbreaking as that sounds, her story is far too common among the Dravet families. And yet through it all, Cora is the definition of resilience. She greets each day with joy, curiosity, and a heart full of love. She takes multiple medications every day and does it with a smile. Sometimes a yell and sometimes a fight, but she takes them. She wears orthotics to support her mobility and works incredibly hard in physical, occupational, speech, and vision therapies. She inspires everyone who meets her, especially me. She's first asked, "How you doing?" and the first to offer a hug and a kiss. While she may be selective with her food choices, especially McDonald's French fries and Triscuits and cream cheese that can be smelly, she's always willing to share whatever snack has her heart that day. Her spirit and kindness are gifts to everyone around her. I'm also excited to share that we'll be hosting a special fundraiser at Rosedale Beach Club in Verona the weekend of July 11th through the 13th. It'll be a great opportunity for us to come together, have some fun, and learn more about Dravet syndrome and how we can support research that moves us closer to a cure. We're so thankful to the management team at Rosedale Beach Club for being another loving and responsive gem in our community, showing up for our family in such a meaningful way. And we're so excited. There are 10 families in a 3-hour radius of Pittsburgh, and they're all going to be invited. And we really hope that they can join us. So once again, thank you, Mayor Recupero, the Verona Borough, our entire community for giving families like yours a platform, a voice, and most importantly, the support we need. Thank you for honoring our journey and helping shine a light on a condition that is often hidden in the shadows. I proudly wear purple, just like everyone else, for my daughter Cora, and tonight I do accept this recognition on behalf of every Dravet family, still fighting, still hoping, and still believing in a brighter, healthier future.
Take it, it's yours.
She's like, it's not as flashy.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, what a heck of a story.
Yeah, it is. We do have one for Jerry, but I don't know if he's up there or not. I want to see
He
him.
was in the office.
When he comes in.
Well, I heard the door shut. There.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Yes, and thank you.
Bye, Cora. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. All right. He may have went on, so.
Okay, we're gonna go back to the meeting. Comments from the advisory boards and commissions, there's nothing. Discussion items, I have two items. It's come to our attention, I don't know when this came about, I don't know any of the specifics. There's a cops grant, out there. And due to whatever reasoning, we didn't have enough time to fill the, deputy was on vacation, Tom's schedule, they didn't have enough time to fill this grant application out, which is, Tom, do you want to explain it a little bit, or?
The COPS grant's a federally funded grant for full-time police officer over a 3-year period. The max award is $125,000. The borough would have to contribute 20% of the of that over 3 years. And after 3 years, you're expected to have your your game together, so to speak, to keep that officer. This grant is aimed for economically depressed areas with staffing issues. Verona. I tried to start it. It's been 4 years since I've done one. The federal government, anyone that knows anyone, they change everything. And plus, with the way things are going right now, I didn't have the time, and council graciously brought someone in to aid in that, and we got the first half submitted today. We've met the deadline by an hour, and then the second one is next week, which we should be in a good place to get that in, and hopefully, God willing, get that money.
Right. So to make it clear, there's two deadlines. One was today at 4:59.
Yes.
Tomorrow, it's tomorrow.
Oh, okay, we're a day ahead, excuse me.
Dawn.
Tomorrow.
Dawn, excuse me. Please, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Ray.
Ma'am, hold a minute. Kelly, Miss Kelly, can you come back in for a second? Huh? Can you ask for, Jen to come in? Why don't you just, Dawn, do that in the hall.
What you got?
Dawn,
Okay,
Dawn,
We'll do that.
take him out.
Okay, I'll go down here? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the first deadline was tomorrow, yes, at 4:59. And then the next one is July 1st,
4:59.
4:59. So we got in contact with a fella who was writing the same grant for Penn Hills. And we contacted him, and he was willing to do it for a fee, and you'll hear that later on. So that's what, there's questions as to our borough manager should have did it, or this or that. Well, this just come up and she was on vacation, and that's why we did what we did. So that's that. The next thing I have a letter to read here. Dear council members, I am writing to inform you of my intention to resign from my job as borough manager of Verona, effective August 9th, 2025. As stated in a previous meeting, I believe that my services do not align with the current direction of Verona. I appreciate the opportunities you have provided during my time. I will spend the next few weeks wrapping up items so the next manager will feel comfortable in Verona. I will also complete the exit interview, but ask that either it be done in writing or with our HR consultant, Tracy House. and or our solicitor. Thank you, Stephanie Spade. We will vote on that at the July 8th meeting. So, and that's all I have. Next up, Mayor.
I have a couple things, the proclamation the certificate I just did for the Dravet Syndrome Awareness Day. And I have one for Sergeant Franco's, but he must be out on a call. And third one, John, you want to, in your report, bring that up of hiring of part-time officers, it's your committee?
Yeah, I have that on.
Okay.
My,
And the fourth thing I have is the purchase lockers in the station, 6 lockers at the cost of $435 for the officers to put
May I make
their
a
gear in.
suggestion to get the final price?
I'm sorry, what?
With shipping and handling. We leave that open.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. The lockers are $435 plus shipping and handling. I'm sorry. So if we could get a motion pending the shipping and handling part.
it will be that in the action items.
Okay, that's all I have at this time.
Thank you. Borough manager's report, Tricia's gonna give it tonight.
Yep, Ray, I just wanted to add, I don't know if you said this and I missed it, but we are capping our expenses to the grant writer at $1,000, $100 per hour for 10 hours. With the potential to gain $125,000 over the course of 3 years. So we consider it a small investment in order for our long-term success and growth, both financially and in the public sector realm. I also wanted to mention that we held an executive session immediately prior to this council meeting at 6 o'clock to discuss personnel issues, most notably the recent announcement that President Sachovich just read. I have Stephanie's report in front of me. The first item is the garbage rate increase. As some of you may be aware, in the contract we signed with County Hauling, there was a rate increase each year. So starting on June 1st, this month, garbage increased to $30.64 per month. This will likely be passed on to the residents, but we will be discussing it here tonight. Hopefully you guys don't ask me these technical questions because I probably don't know the answers like Stephanie would, but we will hopefully vote on that at the next meeting, our July 8th business meeting. This is a 7% increase.
It's on the motion. Yeah.
She has a report we'll vote on July 5th. So
We can vote tonight if everyone's comfortable, if there are questions or a lot of discussion.
It's on here for motion or action.
all right, very good. Second, I have the honor and pleasure of introducing our summer LGA Local Government Academy intern, Rachel Jones here. Hi, Rachel. Rachel hails us from Tennessee, but she did her undergraduate education at the University of Florida in sociology. She is currently a student at Carnegie Mellon University, pursuing her Master's of Science in Public Administration. Public Policy and Public Policy Administration. Rachel's quickly become an asset in the borough in many tasks. I don't even know all the things she does, but I can tell you that she's been an asset in other federal grants that we're putting our heads together on that we'll touch on later, which is the Safe Good for All program. So can everyone just give a warm welcome to you made it on time?
Not like when you're on the spot.
Just thank you for having me. It's been a really great experience. I grew up in a really small town too, but very much more rural. So I can only imagine. I didn't honestly, I wouldn't even know what their government looks like. So this gives me an idea of what like a smaller government looks like.
So where'd you say you were from?
So I'm from Bartown, Tennessee. So it's about 45 minutes south of Nashville.
So we're going to blame Rachel on this heat we have. Just like home, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Nice to meet you and welcome aboard.
Very good. Lots of luck. Hope you are able to learn some things.
Yeah, don't be shy. You're welcome at all of the meetings and more. All right, third up on the manager's report is paving of the 900 block of 2nd Street. Some of you will remember. Amanda came to us telling us about 909 2nd Street and the difficulties that her family and many other neighbors were having navigating this section. Due to our advocacy, upon further review, our engineer reevaluated this section and realized it is misclassified as an alley and it should indeed be included part of the Second Street paving. So we will be voting tonight to include it in our current paving that's happening this year at a cost of $9,000. It will include milling, a scratch leveling course, and a new job layer. So thank you again for bringing that to our attention. Next up is the finance report. Council, you will have your documents in front of you. So this is for May. In May, our income was $1,902, $1,919.16, bringing the year to date to $1,468,033.40. I swear I can read. May expenses, $1,776. Yes, sorry.
$176,145.29. Year to date would be $927,855.52, with the net income of $15,973.87. Year to date, $540,177.88.
Any questions or comments?
I'll step in if you have any questions.
What else?
Is that it?
Yes.
That's all you have. Next up would be Mr. Floto.
Yes, I just want to update everybody that we're continuing to work on our vacant lot fees. And straightening out the fact we have two separate ordinances for 2 separate years. And we are also just about finished with our current parks grant. If everybody has gone near Cribs or Riverbank Park lately, you can see the basketball courts have been resurfaced, all the tracks have been fixed.
They look nice.
They look very nice and green and blue to match the pickleball.
Yes, good job. That's
Yeah,
very nice.
I think the grant's pretty much wrapped up now. There might be like a couple more bolts and stuff on the swing set, but most of the equipment's already in and everything we're waiting on. It's been painted, and I think that's it. And that's all I have.
Very good, Vince. Thank you. Next up will be Community Relations Committee. Mrs. Provenza.
Thank you, President, and good evening, everyone. We did, pardon me, we did have a community relations meeting on Monday, June the 16th at 6 p.m. here in the Borough Building. And excuse me, our guest speaker was Chief Ron Dessel, and I thank you, Chief, for being there. It's a very good meeting. You added a lot of good to it. Thank you. We discussed some things, and we'll go over them with you. These are the comments that were given at that meeting. More engagement would be needed with the people of our town, and also for active listening with results from our residents. Another was a sense of decorum with the people. A third was Borough needs to use more social media. For example, if there's going to be a tax increase, which we certainly don't endorse them, it's just an example. People need to know about these things. So this should maybe be on social media, it was felt. Another was text messages that they're not used as much as they should be. And an example would be text people and let them know, hey, we're going to have road construction. You don't want to use that road. There will be an alternate road. So again, using text messaging. And another was websites. More community engagement using website. And also, when something is being done where there's a charge, the suggestion was made, let's use the credit card machine and get the money right up front. And what we do there is the service charge would go to the customer. It would not come to the office here. And that would be some of the suggestions we had. And of course, we know that stores now and companies all use charge cards. So that is a very common thing that's used. It's not something new. We all use it. I know I certainly do. But The next meeting is going to be on Monday, July 21, here in the Borough Building at 6 P.M. And it's open to the public, anyone is welcome. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. President.
Yes, sir, you're welcome.
Next up, Finance Committee, Mr. Long.
Yeah, there will be a 6-month review of the budget on July 21st at the finance meeting at 7 p.m. That is all I have.
Thank you. Next up, Public Safety Committee, Dr. Carpenter.
All right, thank you. Good to see everybody here. Public safety meeting was on Tuesday, June 17th at 5:30 here in the council chambers. I have a few things on the agenda here. And the first one is maybe the longest one, but I did include what I'm calling the final version of the designated handicap parking spot policy in your packet. I changed some places where it said council and administration to the police where it should be. So this could be the final version. If anybody has any comments between now and July 8th, let me know, and I will, try to incorporate them, but I didn't hear anything for the last 2 weeks, so I figured people were okay with it. I wasn't looking to vote on this until the business meeting in July, just to give you 2 more weeks. So there's that. So here. I've talked with people at RCAC and Lower Valley Ambulance Service. And we've agreed on October 18th as being the time for the first aid class. It's going to be in Oakmont at the senior center again, just like the CPR class was. The cost is a little more. I think they have more supplies to buy for that particular course. It'll be $50. And as we get closer to the time, have a flyer and a way to sign up and all of that good stuff. In your packet, it's printed this out for me, which is wonderful. In Aspinwall, they have a slow down campaign with yard signs. And the 3 slogans are slow down, save lives, it's a road, not a race, and keep our kids alive. And they're put out by the Borough Police of Aspinwall. And I noticed it, I think I may have mentioned this many, many months ago, but I wanted to see what people thought about it, and I would, discuss it with the chief if he thinks that's good. But anyway, every little thing that we do, maybe it helps to slow people. Definitely put a sign by Ridge. So this was just a thought I had as a relatively inexpensive way to maybe bring people's attention, especially when it says keep our kids alive. I think that might be the most effective one, hopefully.
Nancy.
Yeah.
Jason from Parks and Rec contacted me and said if you're interested in these, contact him.
Oh, yes.
He can give you a quote or.
Yep.
Potentially.
Okay, yeah, I'll be here.
Printing or designing.
Does printing stickers final?
Yeah,
Design.
okay, great, thank you. All right, let me write that down.
Very well, just does offer 2 months interpreting.
Yeah.
So,
I don't do yard signs. Jason's garage, so.
since this is an expenditure of money, we can put that on the July business meeting to vote on too. But I don't hear anybody saying they don't want them.
The only question I have is, and I know this was brought up before, is there an ordinance on yard signs?
Well, I
I'm
guess,
just asking,
Most public property, yes, but I would,
I'm not trying to say not to have them.
I think it's a really good idea.
I do too.
I suggest maybe getting the yard signs and then having them for really cheap here at Borough Building or free possibly. And people can come down and pick them up, put them in their yard on Center or on First, or if they have a speeding problem in their neck of the woods, they can come down, pay $5 for a sign, put it in their yard, or maybe free. I don't know, we have to discuss that.
Yeah, okay.
But that would be a way to get around putting them on public property. In the ordinance, we could put them in people's yards.
Right.
My
And
understanding,
voluntarily put them in.
so my understanding from our last time of discussing this though was that if you got a permit for yard signs that you.
Yeah, we can do that. We can permit ourselves.
Yeah.
Put them
Yeah.
on, because I
Well,
was
just being at the
thinking that,
attention to some, you know, looking to,
we don't own, the borough doesn't really own any property on First Ave. It would be beneficial to have a couple of those signs by the school or on South.
Right, and the way that they place them in Aspinwall, from what I can tell, is they have a, like, there's an intersection that has 4 corners, and they might put 2 on opposite corners or corners next to each other, wherever they see problem areas. I would like us to figure out where our biggest speeding problems are and have them there and the borough place them. I mean, we could also ask people, if they mind if we put them in their yard. Anyway, I'd like to hear anything else anybody wants to say about it right now in this workshop. You know, those are good thoughts. Anybody else?
I think it's a good idea. And, you know, I wouldn't mind having it if we could put a stop sign somewhere
Yeah,
at a strategic area where it could be a problem. As
Yeah.
long as everybody's okay with it.
these poles that you see next to them, I believe are stop signs.
Yeah.
So,
Especially in an area where we know.
We could
Yeah.
technically put them in the right of way between the sidewalk and the street. But we would have to, like I said, we would have to permit ourselves, so at least we document it, and I would highly suggest that if we do that. We contact the owner of the property. That is adjacent to that right of way and make sure that it's okay with them. I understand we own it and they're in charge. We own it, but they're in charge of.
Maintains.
So if we start sticking signs, then expect them
Right.
to move it to mow their grass, they're not gonna mow their grass, and then, well, what are we gonna say?
Yeah.
Code enforcement up there we need to do it right, and we need to make sure that we get permission from the people, even if we put it in the pipe.
That's true.
So who's giving cost information? Are you reaching out to Jason?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Any other comments about that? Okay. So I also had a cost grant down here, and I think Chief Dassel filled us in on most of the details of that. I did talk with Nick, the guy who's doing the writing of it, and so the next part of the grant is the more complicated part of the grant, and it does require getting the letters of support. So we need to follow up on those, and also a lot of numbers of how much we are spending now on our police and delineating what is for health insurance, what is salary, what is, you know, for social security taxes and all of that stuff. So it'll be a little more in depth. But Nick feels very confident, since he just did one for Penn Hills, that this will be easily done by the deadline of July 1st. My next meeting will be on July 15th at 5:30 here in the Borough Building. So that's all I have. Thanks.
very good, thank you. Next up would be Strategic Planning Committee, Trish Transact.
Thank you, Mr. President. We held our last strategic planning committee meeting on Wednesday, June 18th from 4 to 5 p.m. We were joined by Vanessa gonna butcher the last name again, the Safe Routes to School program. She's been our unofficial shepherd for the Safe Streets and Roads for All program. This is a federal grant, as mentioned, again previously, through the Department of Transportation. We are applying for funding in the category of planning and demonstration in order to conduct a road safety audit. This is a kind of the next level of a walk audit that was conducted last fall with a large group of volunteers with representatives from the school district and various elected officials, both in Verona, Oakmont, and then Senator Costa and State Rep. Andrew. So one of the outcomes was doing next a road safety audit on this section, which I think everyone is well acquainted with, is not known for being a calm or an environment that makes you feel very safe, particularly when you're walking or biking, but even in a car, quite frankly. So our hope is that being able to do a road safety audit will give us a formal independent assessment of this road, complete with engineering diagrams, schematics for potential next steps moving into the future in terms of traffic calming and just in general making this section of road safer for all, as the name would indicate. The other portion of this grant is we're also applying for some funding in order to implement a Safe Routes to School activity. We're a little shy of saying a full-on program, but in order to incorporate something with the school that would allow it to be safer. And as I mentioned, when I introduced our intern Rachel, she's been helping with this grant. Rachel, I wanted to invite you if you wanted to add any details about any part of it or anything you've learned or anything at all. And if you want, Rachel, the microphone is at the podium. You can also stay seated, whatever.
Something from something that I've learned throughout this process is that a lot of cities and towns, no matter size, are doing this. And they've done different ways of doing the demonstration aspect. I think that could be not only that could be really great for Verona in a way that's doesn't detach from people's life, but can also make people think about it more. Just some like really colorful things and really like beautiful ways to demonstrate like what a slowing down can look like. So it's really interesting.
Awesome. So that is due Thursday. It's kind of the week of grants this week. But it is well funded in the category that we're applying for. So everyone, please keep your fingers crossed. So I think that's all I have on that. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up would be Personnel Committee, Mr. Jamelis.
Thank you, Mr. President. Last week, Personnel Committee was pretty busy. We interviewed 2 part-time police officers. The recommendation of the chief. One of them we decided to move forward with. We are going to be voting on him tonight. His name's Jordan Waclaw. Did I pronounce his name right? Waclaw?
I say both.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, he was. We were decided to move forward with him. He's really rather impressive. So we're moving forward with 1 part-time for now. So that's an ongoing process with the hiring. Obviously, we are testing for full-time officers, continuing with that. We discussed
Monday, correct?
Monday, yes,
Testing,
testing,
10 candidates.
yes.
Yes.
We had the meeting after our interviews were over, and we had discussed the final handbook draft. I distributed that to council actually today, the handbook draft along with the summary of the changes. So I would ask all of you if you wanted to look it over. Chief, I actually sent you one too.
I started reading it.
Anyone has any suggestions as far as modifications? Anything you want us to revisit, look at? Anything? Let us know. It's we're still working on this thing. Hopefully we could get it going and rolled out very soon. Hopefully by next business meeting. We also had a discussion, and we're talking about, next year, our recruitment strategies, obviously, and how we want to move forward with hiring and, and obviously, as we know, it's a nuclear arms race out there with, just trying to recruit police officers. And so we were talking about hiring bonuses. That came up as a topic of discussion during the meeting. We also talked about several HR forms, including HR audit forms. Now, an HR audit form, just to keep everyone, informed what those are. So when we're gonna get all these different types of forms like performance reviews, eventually like, anything like timesheets or anything like that in the future. When we have HR audits, we wanna have everything we wanna have tracked in the future. So we wanna have HR audits. So anytime, like say Tracy would come in once a year, she would perform an HR audit. So those would be, that she would have an HR audit form that she would complete on a yearly basis. And she would come in and evaluate the borough and see how it would do, compliance wise. So that's what that would be, as far as, audit forms and that kind of stuff. We'd also had a discussion about the, it's still a work in progress about our citizen complaint policy, the one that we were looking at, the Ford City model. And again, we are still working on that, trying to basically, handle complaints. If we handle something, if we're having an issue, we're not timely enough, we have to try to tackle it immediately. And what the aim is to, is we're trying to get better at resolving issues faster. And that's what the whole scope of this is. So we want to try to resolve problems and be more responsive to the people. That's what the whole gist of this thing is all about. So we're working on all this stuff. But basically that's all I have. It's just basically a rundown of what we talked about last week. The main thing is we are still, hiring, working on, building up our department, working with Tom. And that's about it. Appreciate everybody's time. That's all I have.
Thanks, Jody. No ordinary items, action items. As we discussed about the grant writer, I'll take a motion to approve a grant writer at a cap of $1,000 to $100 per hour.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Dr. Carpenter.
I'll second.
Second by John Jamelis. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Next, I'll take a motion to approve the hiring of Jordan Packlav as a part-time Verona police officer.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Mrs. Provenza, second by Dr. Carpenter. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Next, I'll take a motion to approve a purchase of 6 lockers for the Borough Police Department locker room at $435 approximately plus shipping and handling.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mrs. Provenza,
Second.
second by Dr. Carpenter. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. The next is a motion to approve the garbage rate increase of 7% per the contract with County Hauling. The new billing per month will be $30.05 or $90.15 per quarter. Just so everybody knows, this is in the contract with County Hauling. This has nothing to do with Verona. This is in the contract and we signed a contract with them.
I do have one question.
Well, let's take the motion first.
Okay.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Ms. Rezak,
I'll second.
second by Dr. Carpenter. Any questions?
I do have a question. It's till, is that till the end of this year or is it for till
I
next?
think it's for a year.
Till next year.
I believe it's for a year.
Yes.
Okay. That's all I have.
Okay, any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Next, I'll take a motion to approve a change order to the current A. Felino work order authorizing paving of 900 block of Second Street for an additional $9,000, and that's an estimate.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mr. Floda,
Second.
second by Mr. Jamelis. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Next up would be the newsletter. Mrs. Provenza.
Mr. President. Newsletters, we're currently working on the autumn edition right now, and that's going to cover September, October, and November. The ads and the articles are going to be due on Friday, August the 1st. So you may want to start thinking what you would like to share with us so we can get it ready. And for articles, our editor, Dawn Ward, can be reached at 412-828-3607 or at veronanewsroom@gmail.com. And for ads, I can be reached at 412-828-7726. Chamber of Commerce, next meeting is going to be on Tuesday, July the 15th, 7 p.m. at the Hula Bar. So we have a change of facilities. Twin Borough Ministries, the next community dinner will be on Wednesday, July the 30th, from 4:30 to 6:30. And that will be at the Verona Methodist Church.
Yeah, one tomorrow, Sylvia.
Pardon me?
We'll be having one tomorrow we're hosting.
Oh, they changed the date?
Because it's the fourth Wednesday of the month for June.
June 25th is tomorrow.
Yeah, we're having tomorrow's dinner, not.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you. Historical Society, there will be no meeting this month. What it will be is, it will be a field trip. And the trip will go to Berkner Stone House. And that's located in Natrona Heights. Those that are interested in going, meet at the Borough Building here at 11:15 on Saturday. And the tour will be at noon. Price of the tour is $5.
July, what's the date? I think it's
It'll be on Saturday, July the 19th. And also, there will be a garden tour this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And you'll want to pick up your map down at the community garden. And they will be ready for pickup at the community garden at 10 a.m. And that's a real nice thing. You would enjoy it. So you may want to come to the garden tour. Let's see if there's anything else. I think that is everything. Oh, and also ARB Preservation Association plan is available on the Verona Borough website under planning documents. And that concludes my reports. That is everything.
Thank you, Ms. Provenza.
Yes, sir.
I have an announcement.
Okay.
I just want to let people know, either on Zoom, who's here, anyone who watches the recording, the Senior Center, RCAC, is having a golf outing at the Hillcrest Country Club to raise money for the Senior Center. It is on Friday, August 22nd. Registration is at 7:30 a.m. And I have flyers and information. If anybody is interested or knows of someone who might be interested, you have to register by Friday, August 8th. And it's $550 for a foursome, $150 for an individual, but there are lots of other ways to contribute. if anybody feels so inclined. I have plenty of flyers up here for that. I just wanted to make that available to people, the information. For anyone who would want to do that or who knows someone who would want to do it. That's Friday, August 22nd at Hillcrest Country Club. Thank you.
Very good. Any other announcements? This time, I'll take comments from the public. Please raise your virtual hand or come to the podium.
Thought about it earlier. Susie Davis, Ridge Avenue. I guess it was 2 weeks ago, Waste County hauling came up, but everybody on the street. My can was here, my neighbor's can was 2 feet away. They didn't take it, so we called them. They sent somebody out. My problem is, when they came, they dumped my garbage, which was no problem. Then they took our recycle and threw in the same can. So why are we recycling if when they come, because they missed something, they dump recycle and trash together?
That's happened before. I don't know what.
I called them and I said something and she says, they don't do that. I said, well, the next time they miss, I will stand out there and I will video it and I will send it to you. Because this is ridiculous. We're paying for the recycle. And then they come back because they forgot a can 2 feet away from them.
I agree. I don't know what we can do about that unless there's a video of it or, you know.
It can be looked at before, and there's nothing. We can't, once it goes in the truck, we can't dictate where it goes after that. So whether they recycle it or whether they don't.
I think what Susie's saying, it went in the back with the garbage.
No,
The
what I'm
garbage
saying-
and recycle went in the same truck.
I know, we looked into that, there's nothing, we can't decide what truck they put it in or where they take it. They could take all the trucks to the same dump and dump them all the same how, we have no say. So whether they put the recycling in the same truck as the garbage or vice versa.
I'm gonna let you guys be.
I know it stinks, so we are aware of it. At this point, I'm just happy they took it. Because that's the bigger issue is them not doing their base job of actually taking.
Yeah, it took them 3 days to do it.
That's not bad.
I was ready for the next week to
Yeah.
come already.
Anybody else? Nobody on virtual? This time I'll take a motion to
Hold on. One more thing.
okay,
I just wanted to mention that we, I think, are on the schedule with the Methodist Church to do the August dinner.
any idea?
I just want to put it in people's heads so we can start planning for it, thinking about it, what we want to provide on the August 27th, the last Wednesday of August.
Anybody else? This time I'll take a motion to adjourn. I want a motion to adjourn to exec session, quick exec session to talk, something to go over, and we do not have to return.
I'll make it room.
So, moved by Mrs. Lorenzo,
Second.
second by Dr. Carpenter. Any question? All in favor? Opposed? Passed. Thank you for everybody for coming tonight. Have a safe trip home. Rachel.
Did you get a picture of that?
She said she's not